Hey guys, Ricardo here and welcome to another blog tech tips. So guys, in today's video, I'll be comparing the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra, which I have upgraded from, to the S26 Ultra. All right, so first let's start with the Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra. Of course, this is the S26 Ultra. You can notice the display. And of course, if you look to the side of the device, as you can see here, guys, it does have on this case. You'll notice the rounded corners, which of course allows this to feel much nicer in hand. You'll notice as well the volume up, volume down button, the power button, and of course, again, the rounded corner here. And of course, if you go all the way around, you'll notice the S Pen on this side. And here we have the slot for the SIM card here. Over here, we have the speaker grill. And of course, here we have the USB-C charge port. And if we go to this side, guys, you can notice the S Pen. And of course, it's much smaller this time around. And I got this device here in the color silver or silver shadow. And of course, it is looking very nice. So on this side, there's nothing. At the top, you can notice the microphone here. And of course, guys, if you look towards the back, we have this case with the stand, but the main is the camera here that comes with this here with the camera bump. And you can see the cameras here, including the flash, proximity sensors, and other major sensors towards the back here. And of course, guys, if we were to power on the display, you can notice again the front facing camera. It is probably barely noticeable. And then of course there's the display with a in-display fingerprint sensor. All right, guys, so you can see here we have the S24 Ultra, and of course this one is out of the case. And you can see in comparison, guys, it's very square, or should I say rectangular, and of course it's made from the premium material of the titanium. You can see it feels much more premium in hand, and it's much heavier and chunkier, and it feels much more beefy, guys. You can also notice that the layout has changed a bit. So if you check it out right here, you can see the SIM card tray, and of course you have the S Pen, which was much larger, as you saw in the previous preview on screen. And of course on this side you can see the volume up and down button and the power button. And up here, guys, you can see the speaker sections, and of course the mic area on the back. You can see this in purple. You can see the cameras. This one has no bump, and of course you can see the markings on the back. I also have a lens cover on this one. And of course, guys, you can see the section here to allow the signals to come through. And of course, that's on the US variant. And of course, you can see on this side as well. And what I like about this, guys, is that the premium material is much tougher and it's harder to scratch compared to the aluminum. But of course, you'll have these in cases, so it doesn't cause as much issues. You can see the display as well. It is pretty nice. And if you check out the S Pen, notice this one is much thicker, guys. It's way thicker, and you'll notice it, especially coming from the S24. And you can see the buttons here, and it has actually the ear commands and the ear gestures. And writing is very easy, including drawing. As you can see here, I'm doing a little doodle, and it's quite easy to actually scribble or make your drawings. So all you got to do is simply go ahead and scribble. And of course the same can be done on the S26 Ultra, but of course it will take some getting used to. And of course, guys, coming from the S24 Ultra, I can say of course you'll feel the differences right away. And of course the S26 does feel more premium, but of course in terms of build quality, the S24 Ultra has it in terms of titanium. But of course, guys, it's all about preference. But I give the S26 the lead. This year the screen looks way brighter and more brilliant than the S24. And one of the things that it feels much nicer in hand because of the rounded corners. Now the S24 was titanium. This is aluminum. So of course they have gone back to aluminum. And of course they have said that it makes the device lighter and it also helps with cooling. And you can see the interface here. I made some modifications with the Good Lock application, which allows me to fit more icons and also to manipulate the icons. And as you can see, guys, this is the overall apps. And you can check out the apps that I have. So this version of the software is Android 8.5 with Android version 16 with One UI 8.5. And of course, this is the latest update at the time of this video. Now, some of the things that we notice about this is that there's improvement in terms of the display. And of course, we get the new privacy display, which allows you to, at an angle or certain angles, will allow you not to be able to see the screen. You can activate this partially. So for example, let me show you here. So this is the side, and this is with a partial view on. You'll notice it obscures the screen a bit. And if I were to go full, you'll notice you can't see anything. But of course, if I'm directly in front, I'll be able to see. So if I turn off the full privacy and set it to medium, this is medium. And of course, this is partial with special apps. So if a message were to come in now, it will only obscure that particular app. So of course, the improvement in display is one of the major things. So you'll notice that the display is also more brilliant. And of course, it seems to produce colors much brighter than the S24 Ultra. And one thing I like about it is that while the S Pen has shrunk, I really like the new display. It's really eye-catching, and of course the lighter feel tends to be or feel much better, despite the fact that they have switched from titanium to aluminum. I, for some reason, like the lighter feel, and of course it's always good when these devices get lighter. In terms of the camera, there's a lot of new features, including the new horizon lock, meaning that even if the camera were to be rotated or the phone were to be rotated while being in horizon lock 360 degrees, what's going to happen is that the video will not lose its stability. And of course, that video will come out as if that roll did not happen or that spin of the camera. Alright guys, so here we have the S24 Ultra, and this is the display, and it's not as brilliant in terms of brightness and of course display quality, but it still holds up after all of these years. So of course you can see here, we can look at some of the software differences. You can see the toggles and control panels, and of course the software on this one a bit dated, but of course it still has all of the classic Android features that you have come to know, especially to edit your apps and of course add to the quick toggles. They're all here. And what I like about the S24 Ultra, guys, is that is the level of customization. You'll always have that with your Ultra devices. So as you can see, again, we're looking at the customizations here, and of course you can see the notification area. We also have the settings, and you can see the software version here. This is 8.0. The S26 comes with 8.5. Both of them have Android 16, if I'm remembering correctly. You can see the Android version here, along with all of the major software patches, including the Play Store version. But what I like about the 8.5 version of the One UI is that of course you get a lot of exclusive features on the S26, which will eventually come to devices and hopefully to even the 24, but I'm not sure, but I know the 25 will get it. But of course here again, where we have the model number, this one was the SM S928U1, and of course I think that if I remember it serves was the USA variant. And of course you can see the software the settings in terms of what's available. And of course most of these have made a return in the S26. You can see as well that the latest software update as of the time of making this video was as seen here, which was the One UI 8.0 with Android 16. And of course we were able to successfully update, so the 24 still, or the S24 Ultra is still getting all of its updates, which makes it still a valuable device for those who don't necessarily want the latest updates. But of course you'll be stuck with waiting for major updates versus the 26 Ultra that gets the 8.5 update and all the latest software pushed to that device. And I think Samsung has also opted to support a device to about 6 or 7 years. I don't remember the exact amount, but of course you can actually see here that this device is still running solid. And of course overall I am very loving the software still on the S24 Ultra. However, the 8.5 update on the on the S26 Ultra is superior in every way, and I'm sure the software on that device 26 will also get future updates much quicker than any other version. All right, so here again you can see all the AI features that were on the Galaxy AI on the S24 Ultra, but the S26 Ultra has some new features that trumps all of these, including I think like the horizon lock. Some of those are not AI, by the way. They are a bunch of tweaks and additions that really made the software version on the 26 stand out, right? So the horizon lock, the privacy display, the audio eraser, and so on, which is not available on this. But I'm sure eventually Samsung might consider to send down these updates to these older devices. But of course, the S26 will get those ahead of every other device. So you can see here my battery usage. So of course this device was my daily driver for a while, so I was using it continuously. And of course the battery held up. I had this for about this device for about 2 years, and I had no problems with battery life. I had no problems with the display or any of the features. Updates were timely, and of course charging was fun. It doesn't show battery health like the iPhones, however, the in terms of degradation of the battery held out for the 2 years that I had this. And of course the charging was nice. The performance also was nice, especially for gaming. So of course the improvements in battery life on the S26 was way superior, or way more, as you get way more battery life out of that particular device. Overall solid software, despite it's not the latest, but the S26 does feel better in hand despite it being aluminum versus titanium. I think Samsung needs to stick to lighter and thinner devices. That really helps in terms of ergonomics and the feel in hand. And overall, still a solid device. Still a device that you can keep around and use as your daily driver. But the 26 does
So
trump it in a lot of ways.
In terms of the upgrade, is it or was it worth it to upgrade from the S24 to the S26? I would say definitely yes. However, you would not be able to tell based on just the reviews alone. So if you could actually get this device in hand and actually test it out for yourself, you'll see the improvements. Now, of course, in some cases, it might not be warranting an upgrade, but I think that there's enough features here, especially if you've been holding out for an upgrade. I think you'll love the new privacy display, you'll love the new camera features, and of course the other software tweaks that they had to the device that really adds to the beauty of the overall device. Plus, of course, with future software updates, I'm sure there's stuff that's going to be added that it will get faster on the S26 Ultra versus the others. So definitely, I think it's worth the upgrade. You could wait another year, but of course, there's no guarantee that there's a new feature that will come out next year. And of course, you might have to wait longer for some people who don't want to wait. But remember that these technologies are maturing, so of course the features between devices, it's taking longer and longer. Normally it's about 2 years until you see a significant jump. So this year the jump in performance and the jump in new features is very eye-catching. So of course you definitely want to check these. Guys, so you definitely want to check this out. But remember that the improvements is better seen in person than through reports online, in terms of to actually feel the difference between the 24 and the 26. All right, so it's easily missed if you don't actually experience it firsthand. All right, so that was useful, and see you next. Bye.